Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. I would like to give a special thanks to Homestead Hyundai for providing with the Elantra. If you guys are on the market for a Hyundai, you can go check out Homestead Hyundai and ask for Nelson. He will get you into a new or pre-owned vehicle. But let's talk about the Elantra here behind me. This is the hybrid model in the limited trim. This is the 7th generation Elantra. But looking here at the front styling here, this vehicle does look very low and very aggressive. They call this their sporty design language, just like on the Hyundai Sonata, which that vehicle looks more like a catfish, but it does look very aggressive, especially if you go for the inline model. But looking at these headlights, this is the only way that you're going to get full LEDs if you guys go for the top hybrid model here. This is a matrix style headlight here, with an LED daytime running light with an incandescent turn signal. I'm surprised to see that Hyundai didn't go with a full LED setup. The incandescent turn signal is actually hidden into the actual grille. I do like their Cascade waterfall grille. It looks really nice here with the dark chrome finish. There's also this triangle area over here, which looks really nice as well with the white exterior paint. There's also the Hyundai emblem front and center. I do like the low stance that this car has. It looks very aggressive at certain angles, but looking at these tires and wheels here, these are a 225/45 tire. They're wrapped in this 17-inch rim design. I do like the silver with the black finish here. It looks really good with the white exterior paint. If you guys look very closely here at this angle, there's some very sharp body lines here on the side door, which looks really nice here with this white exterior paint. There's also this LED sight marker here on the mirror cap, and up top, Hyundai offers a standard size sunroof. There's no panoramic sunroof here, and Hyundai does not offer that feature. So if you guys want that, you guys have to look for the bigger vehicle, which is the Sonata. If you guys want that feature, the wheelbase is at 107.1 inches with an overall length of 184.1. So this vehicle is right on par with every other car in the segment. Looking at these taillights here, they're going to be an LED combination with an LED brake light with an incandescent turn signal and reverse light, and the LED brake light actually wraps around the whole trunk lid here. That's the backup camera with the Hyundai emblem. It has the Elantra name spelled out here. There's also the hybrid badge there. There's rear parking sensors. And looking down here at the lower part of the diffuser, very sharp lines here. No visible exhaust trim because this is the hybrid model. But open up the cargo bag here. There's the trunk release button right there. Once you do that, it reveals 14.2 cubic feet of space. And you can also fold the seats down to do a 60-40 split. And underneath here, Hyundai does give you a temporary spare tire. But overall, let's hop into the interior of the Hyundai Elantra Hybrid Limited. Before hopping into the interior of the Hyundai Elantra, looking at the key fob here, this has a lock, unlock, remote start, a trunk release, and also a panic button. There's this aluminum at the bottom and top part of the key. There's also the Hyundai emblem on back of the key fob. But to engage the remote start, just lock the vehicle and then hold the remote start button down. Keep in mind, guys, you guys will hear like a little sound from the car because it's using the electric motors to start up the vehicle, because this is the limited hybrid model of the Elantra. But walking up to the door here, this is how you lock the vehicle here. Rest your finger there, but to unlock it, Hyundai does a sensor behind the door handle. Open up the interior here. My model does have this two-tone color combination. You're also greeted by these two 10.25-inch display. We'll talk about that in a few seconds. But also like the fabric on the seat back and also on the door panel. But getting inside the Elantra here, like I mentioned, you're greeted by these two 10.25-inch displays here. But reaching over here to shut the door, and the vehicle is already on because it used the electric motors to start up the car. And this is the only way that you're going to get this large 10.25-inch display. If you guys go for the limited hybrid model here, you get this 10.25-inch display here for the digital gauge cluster and also for the infotainment system. As you guys can see here, it does take up the whole screen here for the Apple CarPlay. You also get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you cannot get it wireless. You have to connect your USB port, as you guys can see down here. If you guys want that wireless feature, you have to go for the lower model in order to get that wireless feature, because unfortunately Hyundai does not offer that wireless capability on their larger screens. But looking at the door panel material, it's going to be a hard touch plastic here, but I do like the nice fabric material here on the actual door panel. There's two-person memory seats with this real metal speaker cover there. There's this aluminum accented door handle here with your mirror, and also your lock controls and your window controls. It is auto up, auto down, only for the driver, but not for the rest of the windows. It's going to be slightly padded here to rest your elbows. Down here, there's a little bit of storage and a cup holder here. My model also has the Bose audio sound system. The hood latch is down there. Over here is for the dimmer switches, your lane keep assist, and the traction control. And this is a manual tilt and telescoping wheel. It does offer a decent amount of range and adjustability. There's the headlight and turn signal stock there. The wind wiper stock is right there. I do like the leather here on the actual steering wheel. Over is for the voice and volume controls. There's the Hyundai emblem front and center with some aluminum painted trim. Over here is for the adaptive cruise control with the highway steer assist. Really good driver's assistance. I tested it before. If you guys are wondering what this does nothing. I think at nighttime it does illuminate, if I'm not mistaken. So if you guys have the Elantra Limited hybrid model, let me know if this thing actually does anything, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't do anything. And I'm surprised that Hyundai actually offered that here on the Elantra. Looking at the materials on the upper part of the dashboard, it's going to be a nice rubber material here. I'm surprised they didn't go with the soft touch ejection molded plastic, but it does feel nice to touch. The materials here on the actual dashboard, there's some aluminum trim around the air vents in here, and my model also has some ambient lighting, looks like, which looks pretty decent, but you can barely see it here in this sunlight here. There's the hazard button there. There's some shortcut buttons down here. There's the volume knob. I'm surprised to see there's an actual tuning knob here, but it looks very Mercedes-Benz like in this interior because of the two dual screens here. There's going to be dual climate control, and it's the only way that you're going to get cool seats if you guys go for the limited hybrid here. Unfortunately, they just limit the cool seats to this model particularly, but there's also 3-level heated seats as well. There's some shortcut buttons here. Looking down here, there's a 12-volt with 2 USB ports. And there's also a wireless phone charger here on the limited Elantra. We're putting the vehicle into reverse here. It does reveal a backup camera. There's these sensors here for the radar. Since my model does not have a top-down 360 view, but there's trajectory with distance markers. And if you guys can hear really closely, there's like this roaring sound to let pedestrians know that you basically are in reverse. But unfortunately, I'm not sure if you guys can actually hear because there's another car making a lot of noise as I'm filming here. But kicking it down here, there's a sport mode. This does cycle through that 6-speed dual clutch transmission. I'm really surprised to see that Hyundai actually put a dual clutch on a hybrid car. But looking over here, there's the drive mode selector, which shows you sport, smart, and also normal. I'm surprised this car doesn't have an actual eco mode in a sense, but I do like the sport gauge. It looks really nice. Also, when you change it to smart mode, I like the blue background as well. But pressing this button here, this does access the backup camera, as you guys can see there. There's electronic parking brake, auto hold. I do like the leather around the shifter here. There's 2 cup holders, and also, let me take my stuff out of this cup holder here. You can switch the cup holders to have it closer to you. As you guys can see, there's much closer. So if I put the water bottle here, it's more closer to you, like I just mentioned. But if you guys don't like that feature, you can have it as far as setting. If you guys want to have those big drinks from 7-Eleven, the center armrest is going to be nice and padded here. Open up, it does reveal a decent amount of storage, and it's very shallow. Like I mentioned, this is the only way that you're going to get the cool seats if you go for Elantra limited hybrid here. And this also has 3-level heated seats as well. The seats feel very nice and supportive. I like the fabric here on the seat back of the seat here. There's also the fabric on the door panel, like I mentioned. Above me, there's going to be the standard sunroof, just like every other competitor in the segment. I'm surprised that Hyundai didn't go for the panoramic sunroof here. I think that'd been a nice feature. And looking here, it's going to be incandescent lighting throughout the cabin. And also, the glove compartment does offer a lot of storage. But overall, I'm very impressed here with this interior. It looks just like a Mercedes-Benz, but I want you guys to let me know what you guys think about this interior. Does it look better than the Honda Civic, or would you guys take this over the Honda Civic's interior? Getting into the back seat here of the Hyundai Elantra here, open up the door. The door opens at a pretty decent angle, but getting back here, guys, keep in mind I'm only 5'8" here. And as you guys can see here, I do have a decent amount of headroom. My head is almost touching, so if you guys are over 6 feet tall, I would recommend sitting in the driver or the passenger seat. But looking down here, Hyundai says you get around 38 inches of legroom. This does feel bigger than the Honda Civic that I just tested a couple of days ago. But looking over here, there's this hump, but you can't fit a middle passenger here. There's only one pocket back here for storage. Pulling this armrest down here, it does reveal 2 cup holders. I also like the fabric here on the seat back of the seats. There's also more of that fabric here on the actual door panel. The material's gonna be a hard touch plastic, but it does feel very soft in certain areas. There's also a cup holder here in the actual door pocket. But overall, the back seat of the Elantra does feel very spacious. As you guys can see here, I have the hood open here for the Hyundai Elantra. Let's talk about this powertrain here. This uses Hyundai's 1.6 liter is a naturally aspirated powertrain. There's no turbocharger slapped on this hybrid powertrain, unfortunately. This makes 139 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 6-speed dual clutch transmission. Yes, I just said a dual clutch. I think this is the first hybrid in this class to offer a dual clutch on the hybrid powertrain. The other competitors do offer a CVT for performance and also for fuel economy, but I beg to differ. The 6-speed dual clutch does get very impressive fuel economy numbers, which is 49 in the city, 52 on the highway, and 50 combined. As you guys can see, there's the electric motor right there, front and center, with these bright orange cables. And as the Elantra sits, it weighs 3,069 pounds. Front wheel drive is the only option. There's no all-wheel drive for the Elantra. So starting off the driving series here in the Hyundai Elantra Hybrid Limited here, this has Hyundai's 1.6 liter, is naturally aspirated, and it's paired with a 6-speed, they call it an Eco Shift as a drive system. So basically, it doesn't use a CVT, which is kind of odd to put a dual clutch with a hybrid powertrain. You use a dual clutch if you want performance, but Hyundai, they went the different route and they put a dual clutch in here. Like I mentioned, it's a 6-speed dual clutch. Some of the other competitors do offer a CVT. CVTs are very loud and very buzzy. I'm not a big fan of CVT transmissions, but they're good for performance and fuel economy. But I beg to differ that this car has great fuel economy. It gets 49 in the city, 52 on the highway, and 50 combined with that 6-speed dual clutch. Like I mentioned, this thing has a dual clutch, no CVT. But just driving here, this powertrain is very smooth. But you do hear that dual clutch if you want to put your foot to the floor, like right now. The dual clutch is responsive, but me personally, I would honestly, it's really hard to hear me say this, but I would go for a CVT any day compared to this dual clutch. But Hyundai does give you some drive modes here, which is normal, smart, and sport here. So it's only sorry about that, my camera fell. What the hell is going on? Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is going on? What is going on? Why is my camera falling? What the hell is going on? Okay. This is just some ghetto productions right now. I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, so we're having some technical difficulties. I don't know what the hell is going on right now, but that just happened. But the car is in the sport mode here, but the 6-speed does feel a little sluggish if you wanted to put your foot to the floor, but keep in mind this only makes 139 horsepower, so there's not a lot of horsepower, but there is a decent amount of torque here from this 1.6 liter engine here. But just sitting here at a red light, the interior is super quiet. I do like these two 10.25 inch display. You get one here for the gauge cluster and also one for the infotainment system. As you guys can see here, this does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Very bright and crisp green. It looks like a Mercedes in here, but like I mentioned, I want you guys to tell me, does this thing do anything if you guys own this car? Over here on this little portion of the screen here, I don't think it does anything. I think it just lights up. But this interior looks very nice. But I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. Does this look better than the new Honda Civic's interior? Which I think that interior looks very good. It's like light years away from the previous generation. But this interior looks very Mercedes-like with these 2-inch with these two displays here. But I still have the car in the sport mode here. And that 6-speed does sound a little buzzy. But let's see what it does. Pretty decent. Like I mentioned, it makes 139 horsepower, so this car is not going to be made for the track or anything like that. That's why you're going to get the Hyundai Elantra N, which is supposed to be coming out very soon. But me personally, I would just keep this car in the smart mode or normal mode. And surprisingly, this car does not have an eco mode, which is very surprisingly. The other competitors do offer an eco mode for their cars, but as you guys can see, there's this nice digital display here to show you what hybrid system is doing. It's telling you that the car is charging the battery, or it's telling you that it's full power once you have your foot to the accelerator. And keep in mind, guys, I just noticed that Honda does not even offer a hybrid Civic. So if you guys want a hybrid car, you have to look at the Elantra here or the Toyota Corolla that offers a hybrid. But if you guys are looking for a commuter car that gets over 50 miles to the gallon and it's not going to break the bank, I think the Hyundai Elantra Limited here with all the features is a really good option. Starting price here for the Hyundai Elantra Limited Hybrid here is at $28,100 with the options and accessories, including destination. The Hybrid Elantra here stickers for $30,740. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Drive1Reviews and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next review.